So I spend a lot of time thinking about what matters most for students, and I really want to think about how we can support them in learning. Well, I don't think it's any particular curriculum or an all-star teacher. Rather, I believe that the success of students lies in the power of teams. As we're thinking about our students, sometimes we think, if I just make things good for my students, that's good enough. But what about all the other students who aren't in your class and they're not getting rich mathematical tasks or having discourse? What about those students? When I started thinking about my transition from teaching elementary school to middle school mathematics, I was worried if older kids would even like me or if classroom management would be a nightmare. That wasn't the problem, but my team was totally different. We waved at each other and we said hi and were friendly, but no one wanted to collaborate. So I became what I call a little bit of a steamroller leader, and I asked my team, well actually I made my team meet every Monday after school so we could plan and collaborate. I just didn't think that I could teach without collaborating with others. As we were working together, we had some really good math arguments. One of our best was the powers debate. Half of our team thought we should teach the concepts so students would learn the rules, and the other half thought, the rules are so easy, just start with the rules. Well, we didn't know what would work best, but we kind of had a thought, but nobody could agree, so we decided to test it out. So what we decided was we would teach the rules and the concept to see what happened. Let me tell you, it was a train wreck. But luckily, we were a very responsive team, and we knew we owed it to our students to continue to work with them until they did understand. So we continued to think about the best way to teach students, and we worked together, we assessed them, we made adjustments, and we continued this cycle. In fact, it took about 4 cycles to learn powers that year. But we never had that argument anymore. Unfortunately, many of our teachers don't have the type of team that I described. Many teachers work in isolation and become frustrated, leaving the profession in just a few years. How can we ensure that all of our teachers have the collaborative teams that we want to be a part of? Go ahead and turn to your partner and tell them 2 characteristics of strong teams.
2 characteristics.
I didn't even realize that.
I'm getting Periscope on.
3, 2, 1. All right, I'm going to bring you back together.
Yeah.
So, now you can
I didn't even realize it was you this whole time.
The whole time, right?
Oh, you've been.
So I bet you said some of these things.
Sorry,
You probably said communication, trust, depending on your team, teamwork. Are there any words up here that surprise you? Are there any words you would add? So I was curious, and I found out that Google had done a lot of work on teams as well. And what they found is it wasn't so much about who was on the team, but how the team worked together. Could we work together in a safe place? Additionally, I believe that teams should have autonomy. I believe that when teams are free to make decisions as a team and guide their own learning, that the teams will thrive. This allows them to create their own common goals, not have goals handed to them by others. When we can create our own goals and vision for instruction as a team, we're going to do more for our students. However, it's not always easy being on a team. Sometimes we strike out. It's not all about trophies and championship rings. However, when you're part of a team, your team is always there supporting you, even on the tough days or when you have that lesson that bombs. So remember, don't let striking out let you be afraid to be on a team. So as we're thinking about teams, and you can think about all the teams you're a part of, we have powerful teams and dysfunctional teams. But in reality, we're all probably on a team that's a little bit of a mix of both. So think about how your team is powerful and where you have some dysfunctions. Patrick Lencioni talked about the 5 dysfunctions of a team. As you look at them, you can probably see areas where your team struggles. If you struggle in any of these areas, work together to build your team back up so that you can be a powerful team. Additionally, the teams I work with, time is probably our biggest challenge. While I can't give you more than 24 hours in a day, I can encourage you to be creative with the time you have. And if you're given time, make sure to use it effectively. So my call to action to all of you tonight is if you're a leader, I really ask you to support the teams that you have. If you're on a team, please work on developing your team that you're working with, and additionally expand your teams. Join Twitter, come to conferences, be a part of professional organizations. No matter where you work or what you do, you're already part of an existing team. The team relies on you and you rely on them. You do a lot for your team. Because ultimately, it's the team and the students that matter and not just you. So I want to say a big thank you to all of my teams because they help me each and every day. I'm a better teacher, leader, and person because of my teams. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine, for that look inside your world, for helping